you having a moment?
Between this like tension tamer tea and this like doctor's waiting room music, I'm trying before we get started in this, and just for me not to be super negative for 2 hours.
That's
I'm
okay.
trying. Oh, I know. He said 5, and then he said nothing else. I figured he'd follow through.
I answered my head.
No, I couldn't.
I
There's a room in the way.
I was paying attention.
I'm just gonna keep smelling tension tamer.
Tension
Tamer tea.
It's the
It
TTT.
smells delicious.
I'm sure it's.
And the music's helping. Not standing's helping too. We're just. I'm
you
gonna
have a
give me
standing
like
desk.
5 more minutes, guys. 5 more minutes, and I'm gonna try to calm the fuck down. No joke. My anxiety was so high. Like even up to 10 minutes ago, I was shaking.
So we need to talk you through some like belly breaths.
That's what this is all for. Like this is my belly breaths. It's been a while since we've had to get really real on Honesty Hour.
Huh.
For those that have been around a long time and remember the way they used to be, it was pretty much just like 2 hours of everyone crying together.
I can help with that.
And then I got a girlfriend, and she helped a lot, and it got a lot less sad.
That's good.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Now that girlfriend lives a couple states away,
That makes it harder.
and it's getting back to the super sad part again. Yeah. She's still there though. That's good.
Yeah, if she still
She
exists.
exists.
You have object permanence.
Now almost just as abstractly as my old girlfriend.
Well, you have
the chat
object
room.
permanence though, so that's a good thing. Because not everyone does.
Yeah.
Important developmental milestone.
Welcome everyone. We're gonna do this.
Do you want me to just start with this?
just start with that.
We're gonna read.
We're gonna read the donations. We didn't have a computer set up beforehand because mine got stolen,
No, it's tethered.
and we
Going
had this set up.
forward.
Yeah, just do this. You got eyes.
Do I?
Guys.
They could be illusions.
Just
Okay. Starting from the top.
Yeah.
Okay. Legifa. I'm gonna butcher all of these names, so let's do
butcher
this.
away. I do it all the time.
Legis5 hashtag donated hashtag Neonet welcomes all subs into the. Is there a way I can get the rest of it, or do I just make up the
You click the gear,
into the network?
There
I
you
was
go.
gonna come up with something better than that.
and that's yeah.
Kurt Cole also gave the pizza that just disappeared. So
What's
thank
up,
you
Nobilis?
for like the third pizza you guys have
Kurt
got
Cole,
today.
thank you for the pizza.
They also donated by the edge of Fang's blade. Hashtag whooshing. Nope the joke donated for I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle. I'm just gonna keep singing the song. Here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, I just shout, tip me over and pour me out. Thank you, Claudia, for dancing along to increase Overlord's chagrin. Hilarity brought to you by Evo.
Glad we didn't read that one. You got it.
Just do it.
You
I can
got
do the
that
whole
one.
song. Here is my handle. Here is nope. I work
Do that for the next 2 hours.
just like this. Just sing that whole song for 2 hours. Wait, I passed. Evo donated. Evo would like to grant 1 point of edge to benefit the GM, to benefit the troll killers, or any other anti-metahuman hate group. The corp that hates orcs. You're so kind. You're so very nice. Claudia's whimpering in the background. Renraku donated. We at hashtag Renraku. Love samurais. 1 point of edge for Fang, please. You guys really gave a lot of edge to Fang, who used it beautifully at the end. Kurt Cole also donated for Elsie's Got the Edge. Hashtag whooshing. Vasco the Gamer. Here's a salute to Mainframe, and I'm her stick. Nope. Her stick matrix skills. May this edge help you blast some punks out of cyberspace.
What's up, Toadcoder? Congratulations on winning the Shadowrun YouTube giveaway. Send us a whisper so we can get your address.
That's exciting.
Yeah, somebody said, oh, that was whimpering? Yep, LOL. It didn't sound like whimpering from in here either. We need to work on Claudia being more clear with whimper versus other noises that could be deemed inappropriate for Twitch.
I can tell stories about Claudia too.
Nope, that's fine.
pretty- Okay.
Move on.
Paradigm shift. Hashtag Evo loves you. Y'all don't want to leave them. You fuck. Wait. Y'all don't want to leave them. You fuck. That's great. Thanks. That's classy. Classy. I lost. Neonet. 1 point of edge to the GM. Neonet. hates metahumans and would like to
It's not as
these
easy as it
ones
looks,
to be
right?
hurt by exploding things. I have to read routinely in front of other people, and it's very difficult for me. I'm judging you less now. You're welcome. Weird, I lost where I was. William TW. Hashtag Neonet may or may not condone any edgy actions by a certain Miss Fang. Nor do I. Kurt Cole, edging Mordecai Wait. Hashtag Team Wuxing. Paradigm Shift. Hashtag Evo. They could be directly founded against us? That makes sense. Sentences are good. You guys are doing great. Chisley from the beautiful people at Project Human. Remember, hashtag Mitsuhama. Do I keep going to the bottom? Tell me when to stop.
You got to Paradigm Shift?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you're good.
Perfect. We're done. I read all of them. I know how to read.
Oh, somebody donated in my name earlier today. I missed that one. It said, "Oh, you have a high pain tolerance, Joe? That's cute."
Why were you talking about having a high pain tolerance?
Yeah, we're talking about tattoos.
Oh, fair enough.
Asking Steph and I about tattoos.
You guys both have several. Like, literally more than one.
Literally.
Literally.
Not figuratively, literally.
Literally more than one.
So why is Zach so salty today?
Wow.
I've been away since Rabbit Stew ended. It has nothing to do with you guys. Or even you.
Oh.
Believe it or not. It has to do with stupid life that keeps chugging on despite me being here and only thinking about running Twitch. So, back in January around 1st of 2015, I decided to full-time run Twitch channels.
Okay. That's an interesting life choice.
Yes. Since doing so, I can count on one hand how many days I've had off.
That's sad.
And in doing that and living that way, a lot of my normal life has gotten pretty fucked up because I'm in that weird zone of working the kind of hours that most people that work those hours would make enough money to hire an assistant or like an accountant or somebody to help with shit.
Just anyone.
But I don't make enough to do that.
Yep.
So instead, real life is like, woo, bye. And I've moved so many times, and despite changing my address many times with like, yeah, they still send stuff to like 2.5 houses ago or like.
Super helpful.
Yeah, and I'll have people I used to live with 2 years ago email me something that's like important, open now, and they're like, is it okay if I open this? And I'm like, yeah, go for it. So like today that happened, and I was like, yeah, just go for it and send me a picture. And it's like, we're gonna seize your assets if you don't pay California $1,000 by next week.
That sounds like fun. I assume it was a screamer, or howler, like in Harry Potter. So when you opened it, it actually made that noise.
Government.
I assume that is literally what happened.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
I want to be able to just like work really hard and not worry about all the other shit that you're supposed to worry about.
I feel like that is most people's goal.
I like to work.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed.
And it's stupid when other shit gets in the way.
Like, is there a point when it becomes less fun?
The work?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when my life gets so fucked up that I'm like having breakdowns on almost a daily basis and having to be like, what am I doing? How do I fix this? How do I fix this? How do I fix this? I don't have a good answer for that yet.
Oh, how to fix it?
Yeah.
One suggestion is setting everything on fire. It's not a good answer.
Well, no, that's not a good answer because I employ you guys.
That's fair. I conveniently
There's that pressure that comes with you conveniently do. Yeah. What you were basically doing is saying that with your middle finger over your shoulder towards Joe. It's like, oh, hey Joe, you moved up here from Portland and left your family and really hope this succeeds. Here's a middle finger for you, Joe.
I recognize that.
So one was a teacher. No teachers like a bitch shit.
Yeah, no, this is fair. This is fair.
So there's that extra pressure with any company that you're running as a startup. There's the constant pressure of like, okay, if this doesn't succeed, we're fucked. Because a lot of people are counting on it, you know, and you guys have invested in this. Almost everyone watching in this chat room right now has invested in one way or another. like whether through their hours, their tweets, their subscriptions. I owe it to everyone in this chat room to make sure this succeeds. I owe it to you guys. And I don't like resting until I feel like we're starting to, kind of thing, you know? But I don't know what the, I tell myself that, but I feel like I'm lying because I said the same thing at Geek and Sundry, and then
You haven't had a day off.
I never rested, even when we got really successful.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good example of where it started working, and you probably could have taken a day off. You're allowed to let things go.
Yeah, I
For
do.
like a brief period
I
of
do
time.
all the time. My taxes, bills, and student loans, I let them go constantly.
Good.
I let that go. I let sleep go. I let sanity go. I
Yeah,
let
that's-
friendships go. I let all sorts of stuff go. I'm really
Solid
good at
list.
letting things go.
I'm
I'm really good at letting things go.
And it's gone. Sometimes things come back though.
Oh yeah, they come back with like giant red lettering all over them. They're like, we'll seize your fucking assets. Disco Preacher just subscribed. Thank you so much for subscribing. We get 4 more of those and we'll give away a Steam key.
Do you just need a pre-recording of that so you can just push a button?
No, that wouldn't
says
be as
things?
personal. Just like when someone's being a dick, I need to tell them they're being a dick. If I just had a pre-recording that was like, you're a dick, it just doesn't mean the same.
It's fair.
Yeah.
It's reasonable. I was just trying to build some efficiency into your system.
Okay, well, I do need that. I need some efficiency, but these guys are doing great. The thing with any channel, when you launch it, you try to tell yourself that it's like, not like you can do it, it's not a big deal kind of thing. Well, no, you never say it's not a big deal. I just mean...
There's a reason I haven't done shit like this. I went into teaching. May not pay a lot, but it is a very stable career path.
That's true.
And I picked special ed. Literally,
I taught for a little bit.
I changed jobs mid-year, and I had 3 job offers within like a month because no one wants to teach in special education.
Yeah, I taught at the college level for a little bit. It was nice. I actually enjoyed it. I don't honestly know why I stopped. No, that's not
I
true.
enjoy it.
I think I do know why I stopped.
I mean,
Mr. Cap'n D just subscribed. Thank you so much.
Woo!
3 more Steam Key giveaway. I love getting subscribers during Honesty Hour because it's a more one-on-one with the chat room and we get to actually like
have a conversation.
have a conversation with them and talk to them about it. I'm gonna space out a couple times tonight.
That's okay. Someone asked about whether or not I've told my coworkers about the show. I have, but they're all like, "What's the internet?" Not quite. I did have to walk someone through how to take a picture of something with their phone, then send it to themselves by email to then print it from their school computer. So they're not the most tech savvy coworkers.
Okay.
I love them. They are great, wonderful people, but trying to explain what Twitch is not a big priority.
Warning, big donation. Warning, big donation. Warning, big donation.
I don't see it.
Big donation.
Hyper Rapid Power, go!
Zach, remember, there's always madness. Madness is the emergency exit. You can just step outside and close the door on all those dreadful things that happened. You can lock them away forever.
It's really funny. I probably could have guessed that was White Wabbit before I read to see who made that donation. Thank you, White Wabbit. Thank you.
So kind.
Always glad you're here, White Wabbit. Always glad you're here. So glad.
So the internet is a series of tubes, as I have been led to believe.
Tubes?
It's a series of tubes.
Tubes? It's like something out of a cartoon.
Yeah.
Or if it was Claudia, it'd be like, this anime is the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This anime is the internet.
So, Honesty Hour, as you know, is a discussion.
Yeah.
Kind of an interview, kind of not really.
Perfect.
It's going to be half interview, half us talking to the chat room, maybe getting real about stuff, maybe not. We'll see what happens. I'm in a pretty shitty mood, so we'll probably get real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got stories.
I'm not really in a shitty mood.
You're in a trouble.
I'm kind of normal,
Okay.
but anxiety to a level that's like dangerous. Because I have to be really careful with my anxiety levels because of my condition. And if it gets too bad, my body just shuts the fuck down.
Is it, as someone who also has a lot of anxiety, is it a particular kind of anxiety? Like, is it generalized or?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know that it's like, I have to be in constant control of my stress levels, and I'm
Okay.
always on edge. Like, that's part of the reason I always look like I want to murder someone, is because I'm always in constant chronic pain, and there's always like nerve signals firing into my brain that are telling me to lash out. So I'm always right on edge, and if I'm not careful and I get too stressed or I get too anxious, my nerves will actually, like, earlier today you could see that my like actual muscles were starting to shake and twitching, and the nerves just start like, and then that adds more anxiety, and then my knees stop working and I can't stand very well, and I start getting really dizzy, and all of my joints and muscles start shutting down, and I have to be really careful. Like, I got to be in charge of it and in control of it. So it's kind of a downward spiral thing, like with anyone with depression. Like, if you're not careful and you don't get in front of it, it just, and it happens really quick for me because of my condition. Or if I lose track even just a little bit, it's just like, whee, and then it's bad.
That doesn't sound fun. I was just curious because for me, it's like everything causes me to be anxious at all times.
Negiyama! Thank you. Happy rapid fire.
Go. I'll get it
Joe,
eventually.
paint me like a French bread. #setter -crop.
Final Fantasy IX Master says that you're afraid that I don't like you. Why don't you tell her how you really feel? See, I feel like you're above that.
I do frequently, as part of the population that I teach, I do not ever believe that I am liked. I don't need to be liked. I used to get called a fucking bitch a lot during the day.
Oh, we'll get into that.
So like at some point you just sort of stop taking things personally. It's a
Well, I would never
shield of
insult you
defense.
to your
I appreciate
face.
it. Please do not call me a fucking bitch. But that being said, my response is normally, you need to be more creative than that. This is the third time you called me that today. So then I had one student start calling me a British fuck. And I was like, what does that even mean? And then you would just say that over and over again. And I'm like, it kind of lost its edge.
I used to work a lot with inner city kids, and you really quickly are like, no, I have my place. Like, to a 13-year-old, you are a piece of shit no matter what you do.
Pretty much.
Yeah, just really check your ego really fast.
Yeah.
Hey man, look at this cool thing I did. Aren't you guys excited? No, fuck you, bro. White ass cracker, get out of here. Fuck you, man. Trying to make yourself feel better by helping us poor kids. And I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. I can't even argue to you on that one. Like, I have no argument.
You're right, I guess.
Cool. You want to draw some dinosaurs? No? Okay. You want to call me really? Okay, cool. You guys are great. Let's have fun.
Possibly one of my favorite things that reminds me every day of where I work is that in the bathroom above the door, it just says, bitch ass cunt. And I'm just like, yep, some kid got in there and was pissed off with a Sharpie. Who let them have a Sharpie?
Yeah. Oh,
The
man.
immediate follow-up question.
What I find funny with that, and what you can learn from that, which is what I think is interesting and what we could spin this around in an honesty hour way, is
Positive side.
not really a positive side, but like the psychology of it all, to where people are really, really quick to jump to being offended by things right now in our culture, and and we try to protect that as much as we can on this channel. But I do think at the bottom of it, like your reaction of like, oh, okay, well, good job, like great use of the words. There's always some underlying problem that goes deeper. Like, it's really easy to first take something on like that and be like, ow, fuck, like that hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
But once you get used to it and you have the kind of person that you're used to making those kind of comments, you can pretty quickly see through them and be like, okay, well, I have nothing to do with this fucking comment.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with it. This has nothing to do with me. This is about their disposition and their way of life and how they view themselves and those around them, and that's something that needs to be handled, not like, oh no, I really am a bitch ass cunt. Oh god, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah. No, it's definitely, I mean, I think I had to figure that out pretty quickly, that like when a kid was pissed at me, they weren't actually angry at me. They were angry at just the other shit that has gone on in their life. And I can't really change that. Like, I'm like, yeah, you have a shitty ass life so far, kid, and I am sorry.
Yeah.
But right now we're in school, and you're not allowed to punch me.
True.
Only got punched 3 times last year.
Only 3?
Only 3 times.
That's terrifying. That's more than I got punched.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I wasn't expecting it the first time. It really hurt. And then
Are
the
these
second,
are these like young adults?
I worked
what
with
age?
middle schoolers.
They're terrifying.
They're great.
They're fucking terrifying.
Middle schoolers are shitheads, but they're great.
I
They're
am
my
still,
shitheads.
I am still, to this day, the thing that terrifies me most in the world. Like, you can put me in the middle of a ghetto of almost any city in the world. Not any city in the world. I take that back. I take that back. I take that back. I take that back. In America, yeah, I've been through it. I've lived through it. But you put me in a fucking, like, street corner with a group of 13-year-olds, I'm fucking terrified. They're so unpredictable. For the most part, don't have, like, just complete disregard for social repercussion. You know, or
Oh, yeah.
And at least, like, there's some scary people where you can at least reason around what they may or may not do based on the surroundings. And be like, okay, yeah, I'm in a place I shouldn't be right now, but because of this, this, and this, I can kind of judge what a person who is not cracked out of their mind might do or might not do. But a 13-year-old, like, that kid may not be on drugs, but he don't give a fuck. Because he has no social repercussions. It terrifies me.
Middle school is also this really interesting, because I literally have an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old in the same classroom. I teach in a self-contained school. So all of my students are in residential treatment. They are all live on site. Most of them are wards of the state. They have been through some serious shit.
Hyper Rabbit Powered.
Lauren, how did Zach rope you into this gig?
We'll get there. We'll finish the teaching story.
It'll happen. So it's one classroom for. I only have 5 students in the class. Thank God. We had 6 at one point. We literally cannot fit more in the room. But there's an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old in the same classroom, and there's just this huge difference between them. Like, when they're 11, they're still kids, and then when they're at the end of middle school, they're adolescents and teenagers, and then have like hormones out the wazoo, and they're all hitting that age at a completely different time. And there's just this very weird nexus of like them still being children and acting the way children do and not necessarily understanding consequences for their actions, and them starting to want to be treated like adults but still not have any of the social skills that they need to be treated like an adult. It's a fascinating mixture.
You know what really sucks? People that have to be their parents. I'm just kidding.
No, in fairness, most of my students don't have parents.
Yeah, that's kind of what I went through when I was helping with those kids.
Like, they don't. It's sort of tragic.
Yeah.
It's a little sad.
I knew I lost my friend to drugs when they stopped hiding the fact that they were doing them and started embracing it and being proud of it. And see, this is when the chairman's gonna start telling us some stories too that can get pretty heavy and deep. Is this the Last of Us music? It might be. Joe pulled it up from somewhere, and so far it hasn't got us muted on YouTube, so
That works.
I guess it's okay. Well, better to ask forgiveness. So let's adapt. Wanted to know. I'm gonna move around a lot. My body is really hurting tonight, so I'm gonna be readjusting a lot.
That's fine.
Let's adapt. Wanted to know how I roped you into all this. I called you, and you had almost no preparation or time to really think it over, and we said, let's go for it, right? That was about it?
Well, no, specifically, so Janine contacted me saying, hey, do you want to be part of this project that I can tell you absolutely nothing about? So I said yes. Of course I want to be part of a project that you can tell me absolutely nothing about. I'm sure it'll be great. And then they put me into contact with you, which was after Cheryl incidentally found out that not only had I been DMing other D&D games for a while, and that I had run a Shadowrun game 5 years ago, and then we had a conversation, and then I said I would do it. Now I'm here.
Now you're stuck.
Probably.
It's fun though.
I enjoy it.
It's fun. I think I'm really enjoying seeing the audience like pull to you guys' personalities, starting to get their fans. You guys have your Lauren Legion or whatever.
I don't know where that came from, but I'm appreciative.
Go for it. That's when it gets really exciting for me to start seeing, because all of you guys are great. And that's what was really hard that first week, was knowing how great every single host is that we have on this channel, and seeing that it was taking a little bit to get everybody like where I knew you guys were as personalities, not to say through your performance, but through the perception of you on the camera. Because to be completely honest, like the people we work with in LA, they're all exhibitionist actors. They're all like, within 2 hours, you're like, whether for good or bad, you know who that person is. And a lot of you guys up here are much more, Claudia being the exception, reserved. Take a little bit longer to get to know. There's layers. It's an onion. It's a little, you're peeling away that onion. And now I feel like people are starting to really get to know you guys, and that's great. And you guys are all really great, and I'm excited to see where that continues to grow, because I feel like we've got a really good group of talent across the entire channel, with very different personalities and viewpoints on things, which is exciting for me. The last thing I want is a bunch of like really similar white dudes with beards hanging out. Yeah.
I remember distinctly that was like one of the first things you said. You're like, I have too many white guys on my channel. Which I appreciate that you all apparently look the same too.
Forgettable.
You have one of those faces.
Whatever. I'm comfortable with that part.
That's fine. Claudia, I have known 5 years, 4 years. I believe when I met her, I literally just said we're going to be friends now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm quite
It's
aggressive.
funny because she told me
Oh, she was afraid of me.
she was terrified of
Yeah.
me. She was like, she told me she was scared of me, and then she said similarly she was really scared of you, and she was mad.
said
But
that
then
sometimes
then she followed that up with like, but that means you and I are gonna be really good friends.
It's a pretty good Claudia impersonation. Sometimes she still says she's afraid of me, and I'm not sure why. I don't do it on purpose. But yes, so I told her that I told you that Claudia should do this. That worked.
Well, yeah,
out
you
pretty
brought her
well.
by, and yeah, immediately everybody in the room was like, yeah, she should do this. We need that kind of energy on the channel. That's the one thing. Well, at first, when our first week, I didn't think we had enough of that, but then we brought in her, Goobs, Viking Lass. Now we've got enough balance between the multi-layered and the pure entertainment.
They're layered. It's just that their
Outward.
core layer is actually on the outside. That core of energy.
Yes.
So that they're layered in the reverse way. So you discover that they're deep in the opposite direction
Sure.
than with other people.
Easily, they grip you when you're when you're turning through channels. That's you need that. You need a balance. You need the people who have the immediate charisma to hook you, and then the deep, mysterious kind of stuff to keep you coming back. You need both. You need both. Ellsworth says, I was going through depression in school, never belonged to any clique, but got along with all of them. Apparently I had a very good mask to hide who I was and how I really felt. Which was that I wasn't good enough, and that everything that went wrong in my life was my own fault. It only took over 20 years before I managed to face it and start getting help. Ellsworth, that's some heavy shit. I would be anxious to understand why you thought that you had to be fake to be accepted, but your real self wasn't good enough. That sounds strange to me. I would think it would be the other way around. But if you think that everything that went wrong in your life was your own fault and you grew from that, that's a big step and freaking heavy shit. You need the this and you need the spontaneous yelling, says Auntie Bells. I agree. You need both. You need both. Because we try to have something for everybody. Including having bubbly optimism and grumpy asshole.
I'll stay somewhere in the middle.
You want to be normal?
Normal.
I've seen your cosplay.
I am not normal.
I think the image they used to promote our show today was like you in that pink
The pink line onesie?
thing.
It's so warm. It's so warm. I love cosplay. Cosplay's great.
Chaos says, Zach, what's your daily/weekly workout? No sleep, very little food, and working 16 hours a day.
That's a great way.
That's how I stay unhealthy and fit.
I've been asked multiple times if I have seen Atlantis or Universe. I watched Atlantis, I stopped before that one ended, and then I never saw Universe. And that actually ties interestingly into what brought me across the pond.
What did bring you across the pond?
What did bring me?
So you grew up...
You what, shall I just
Somewhere
start
else.
from the beginning?
Let's-
I did grow up somewhere
The
else.
story of Lauren. The story of Lauren Bond.
This is perfect. impeccable British accent.
Story of Dornbone.
Better than Tony's.
Is it?
This story where he came all across the state of America.
I can tell this story with several accents. You see, I was born in Texas.
Okay.
I was born in Houston. And then when I was but 2 years old, my dad, who is a geologist, he worked for a company, and they said, y'all can stay here in Texas and have no job, or y'all can move to England and have a job. And my mom said, fuck Texas. I assume that is literally what the words that came out of her mouth were, because she did not enjoy living there, and they moved to England. So when I was 2, I moved to England, and then I lived there for 4 years, and then we went to Italy for 4 years, and then I went back to England and was there for another 8 years. And then I decided that I wanted to go to university in the States. So I applied to a bunch of different places where we have friends and family, and got into the University of Washington, and so I went to the UW.
So you've been here for how long?
8 years, with a brief stint in San Francisco that did not go well.
Didn't go well, huh?
No.
Would you move out there with somebody?
Yes.
So that would be my next question.
Luckily for you, I came back in January. Actually, December 18th.
Really?
Yep.
Pondering when we dive deeper into that.
Anytime. I can discuss other pasts as well, including.
What was it like growing up as an American overseas? That always kind of felt a little out of place.
Yeah, pretty much. So I had a British accent when we first moved there, and I know this because we have home videos of me with the most adorable British accent. The only thing that I was explicitly not allowed to do was call my mother mummy. She was like, "No, I'm your mom." She found it weird. So they say mum instead of mom.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm just kidding.
Different. And so it was a little easier when I had a British accent, but then when I went to Italy, I went to an American school, so I lost my British accent and got an American one. This is not helpful. And so then when I went back to England, it didn't help that in 2000, which was right around when I went back, was George Bush was elected, and so everyone decided that it was my fault that George Bush was elected.
I remember when that happened.
Despite being a child and in no way able to vote in that election. It was kind of my fault, and then 9/11 happened, and then it kind of just sort of became well, you're the American. So I do not support the British soccer team because they always gave me a hard time for the fact that America was a shitty soccer team.
Okay.
And there was one other American at my school, and everyone kept asking us if we were sisters.
You know, because it's a small country.
It's a very small country.
We would ask the same shit.
It's fair. I mean, my sister was at the school. They still asked me if me and this other person were sisters, because I do not look anything like my sister. We look completely different. But if you put all my family together, we look like we're related to each other. And then, so we just decided that we were going to pretend to be cousins for about 7 years, and that worked out pretty well for us.
Okay, interesting. You just ran with it.
Yeah, we were like, we're cousins. It's Joe's disembodied hands.
Yeah, this is weird. Joe's playing VR games behind us and in front of us, and
That's weird.
No, Zach's my cousin.
Oh yeah, we're white.
Clearly.
Obviously, we're related.
Clearly, and American. So that's it. So that was interesting. It was an interesting experience. And people used to assume that I would know everything about what it's like to be in America. They're like, what's high school like in America? And I'm like, I am at this school. How am I going to know what high school is like? So I tell them stories.
That's really cool. I'm really popular there.
Yeah, it was basically when I described it, I would base it off of what my parents had told me and what I learned from Dawson's Creek.
Okay, well, I'm sorry that you have such a very fucked up version of America.
So that is what...
I really hope you followed up that with Rules of Attraction. If you're like, now I'm in college and I'm going back to America, I'll just see what James Vanderbee's up to after high school.
Yeah.
Rules of Attraction is definitely going to be my college experience.
So I mean, and like other shows that tell you about America, but mostly Dawson's Creek. Watched a lot of that. So England only has 5 channels on TV, so like your options are somewhat limited in terms of what you can watch and when. And so that was actually part of why I wanted to come here, is because I didn't actually know anything about being an American, despite the fact that I was definitely American according to everyone.
So
there.
you felt like you were American. So it's kind of like what a lot of people
I was told
experience.
that I was American.
Right. It's what a lot of people experience who come here. That is that from other countries? Is they're told that you're this.
Yeah.
Oh, you've never been to Africa, but you're African.
Yeah. Like,
You know,
I had
and
no
then you-
clue.
Yeah.
So now I can tell you what college or university is like. Still can't tell you what high school is like.
Yeah.
So it's been some interesting. I still like words. I'll still say like specific words and then realize that people don't know what I meant. But at this point, all of my friends know that when I say I'm not fussed, that means I don't care, and we figured that one.
Okay, I'm not fussed.
I'm not fussed. That was probably the one that I use the most frequently. I'm not fussed.
A great way to start understanding being American is with Ken Burns.
Okay.
Watch those really boring documentaries about the Civil War, and you'll just have it all figured out. You know what it's like to be American, for sure.
But it's things come up and people are like talking about like Jeopardy. I'm like, I've never seen Jeopardy. It's like there are like
You
things
missed
that
a
people,
lot
like,
of stuff from the 90s that weren't that important.
Yeah, I missed a lot of like I don't get a lot it cultural.
You didn't know what it was
references.
like to actually have like a Monday night primetime television that was primarily all black-starred shows.
No.
Yeah.
But I
yeah,
can
welcome
tell
back to
you-
America in the 2000s where there was no black people on primetime TV anymore.
Pretty great. I can tell you about all sorts of British shows that no one has seen. Like Blue Peter. No one here has seen Blue Peter. But Blue Peter badges were a thing and you wanted one. So bad. It was a kids show, like a kids talk show thing where they had guests and stuff.
Question from Cryomancer Maurice. Do you know about Space Jam?
Nope, never seen it. I mean, I've heard of it. I know who Michael Jordan is because my sister
Everybody
went to
get
UNC.
up and down to damn. No, I'm not gonna. I'm done.
Nope.
So yeah, you're just like our old friend Josephine. I feel like now it's my personal responsibility to educate you
Oh, good.
on American culture because I obviously living out in the middle of nowhere have the best experience with American culture from movies. I watch nothing but
yeah.
movies. So
We shall exchange. I'll make you watch things like Crystal Maze, which is an excellent game show that I made Joe watch, and now I believe that everyone in this country needs to see it. I have no idea what surf ninjas are.
we got
ninjas
work
that
to
can
do.
surf.
We got work to do, everybody. We got work to do. Okay, but the basics. Back to the Future, E.T., Indiana Jones, the basics.
So Indiana Jones is an interesting one. I have finally seen E.T. And Back to the Future. When I was 4 years old, my parents left me and my sister being babysat by my grandparents, who then promptly fell asleep. And the movie that we then watched was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. When you're 4 years old and have a lot of anxiety as a 4-year-old, when someone starts rapidly aging and then dies, that is a very traumatic experience. So I proceeded to have nightmares about that for about 10 years. And have since not seen any Indiana Jones movies.
We got work to do. A lot of work to do.
It was not
Zach
fun.
is like Claudia.
Like, I genuinely have fear over the idea of seeing Indiana Jones.
Zach is like Claudia, except he learns life from movies. I wish that was my experience. I'd have a much different view of the world. That'd be great.
Would it be better or worse?
The movies I watched, worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. I'm glad you did.
I
not
started watching like
movies.
really, really serious dark movies at a really young age. And that was probably not a good decision by my parents to allow. Or maybe it was. Maybe it was. I don't know. But I saw a lot of fucked up shit at a really young age in movies, and there was not really any regulation on that. Correction. My mother wanted regulation on that. She was an
did not
English
happen.
teacher, and she had to do a lot of work at school late at night when I was younger, and just be like, oh, this movie's here, I'm gonna watch that. And Dad wouldn't care. He'd be like, whatever. I remember being 5, and my dad being like, you guys want to watch Porky's? And we watched Porky's with me and my friends at 5 years old. We all
what that
learned
is,
together
but I can't
what
believe
locker
it's a good
rooms
thing.
were, and strip clubs,
Oh, good. Oh, good.
and the 80s. We all learned together.
Oh, that sounds great.
Have you ever seen the movie Mr. Nobody? That'll fuck you up. Yeah, I've seen it. It's pretty good.
Nope.
Um,
I'm okay with that. Someone's been asking. I'm not a natural redhead. What color is my hair?
somebody said, what the fuck is Porky's? Look it up. It's classic. It's classic.
Oh, how much hope do I have for my students going into adulthood? I have to have hope forever. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do my job. It's very naive and blind hope.
Yeah. I act like I don't, but I must have. Like, I must have to continue doing all this shit. It's like the riskiest business venture because there's no data to back it up.
Yeah.
You're like, when you're investing in it, it's pretty much every meeting is like, will this work? Nobody's done it yet. We don't know.
Good luck.
We have ideas and theories. Nobody's really done it, so we're our own test
You're
subject.
pioneers, trailblazers.
Yeah.
Those are really positive words to describe what you're doing.
Sure. Thanks for those.
You're welcome. Full of positivity. You're all listing things that I have not seen. Like, I can essentially guarantee you that pretty much everything you ask about I haven't seen. Like, it's generally easier to assume I haven't seen something. Because this is the thing, is the Indiana Jones anxiety also meant that I didn't watch anything for about 10 years.
Oh, okay. Wow, okay.
I was too...
Lots of work.
Like, I would stand in doorways and watch things, but, like, I was too afraid to see the ending of the Lion King movie for a long time, because...
Wow, you are a snowflake.
I have a lot of anxiety. Like, I genuinely do. It's way better now, but movie theaters also make me very uncomfortable, because I can't escape.
Okay, you can't have my job.
Oh, no, I can handle stress. Stress is fine. It's like...
So what kind of anxiety are you talking about?
So here's an example of thoughts that I can have sitting in a space, which is like, the ceiling may crash down on us. The inevitable heat death of the universe is always one that comes up.
Yeah.
The floor may collapse. There could be an earthquake. I could just spontaneously have an aneurysm. I could spontaneously combust. These are all of the thoughts that go in my head, like, at any given moment.
Cool.
It's pretty great. But stress is fine. Like, if I'm doing something active, then I don't think about those things. But, like, it's pretty consistent. Like, it's like a stream. It's like a Twitch feed.
You've seen
Chat
Goonies.
room. I've seen half of Goonies because we showed it to one of my classes last year, and I got to see most of it because no one was freaking out.
That's a good movie. It's kind of a good movie.
I enjoyed that
Nostalgia.
Samwise Gamgee was in it. As a smaller child.
Yeah, he was. Memories.
I'm not an idiot. I know that 10 Cloverfield Lane is not a movie I would enjoy.
Really? It's good. Really good.
I'm not stupid. I understand that I won't sleep if I see stuff like that.
I've seen Elmsworth post that same question like 10 times. Hyper Rapid Power Gil!
I was supposed to do a thing.
Okay, limited movies. What about books? Do you have a favorite author? Hashtag Wuxing.
That's easy. Tamara Pierce. She's great. Read her.
I'm sorry, I was watching Joe wave at someone.
What was that?
It's a multiplayer VR game, right?
Yeah.
And you're waving at people.
And then shooting them. Jupiter Ascending is the best movie, and I realized that my roommate literally just posted that. She
Wait, back up. I haven't seen a lot of movies. Haven't seen many. Jupiter Ascending is the best movie ever, oh my god.
It's so great.
Your opinion on these topics is immediately devalued by the
fair.
30 minutes of just explaining how you've seen no movies.
It's fair. I loved that movie. Everyone should watch it.
Great. No. 2.5 hours time could be better spent doing something else.
I disagree with Zach.
I disagree with... You got better things to do. You got better shit to do. Go find something else to go do. Somebody's like, as a guilty pleasure, question mark?
No, it's a legitimately good movie. I'm gonna stand by my decision. I straight up cosplayed the space werewolf. Go look at it.
Closer to God is now following. Sorry. I guess, is it better than Batman vs. Superman?
I haven't seen it. Probably.
I'm gonna actually say no on that one. I actually feel like Batman vs. Superman was a little bit more honest with its ambitions and knew what it was, at least.
Whatever. You can have your opinion. I like things that are pretty.
I do too. I'm a very visually, I like visuals. I'm an aesthetic person. I like visual aesthetics a lot. A lot. But I could also just go to an art gallery and like really be taken away by great visuals. And if I watch
Fine.
a movie, I want a good story.
I liked the story. It spoke to me.
It's better than Sucker Punch, yeah, for sure. Thanks, White Wabbit. Yeah,
I have seen Inception. It was fine. It didn't blow my mind with the deepness of the story. Which part, Claudia?
I really like Sucker Punch.
I
You
didn't
really
say
like Sucker
anything
Punch?
about Sucker Punch.
Cool. Never asking any of you guys for movie suggestions and or opinions.
Fine. Claudia's favorite movie is Labyrinth.
That's
so.
that's a valid
How is
one.
Labyrinth better than Jupe? Never mind. It's fine.
Oh.
It's fine.
Oh, no, hold on. I'm gonna write a paper, and then I'll get back
Please,
to you.
I'll read it. I won't.
Like,
I will
Okay.
write a counter paper about how it's wonderful.
okay, cool. I'm excited.
You have free
to
time
get
for this, right?
Nope. But even putting Labyrinth and Jupiter Ascending in the same category makes me a little upset. So.
They're incredibly similar in so many ways to me.
Well, to you, yeah.
But I
Because
realize
you've watched no movies. And you're
I've
like, they're
seen
both on
some.
film, and there's things in them that are pretty, and I like the costumes. This is great.
the costumes are so good. Actually, the costumes in Jupiter Ascending are better than the ones in Labyrinth.
I've never heard of Jupiter's Ascending.
I feel like you're not gonna trust me when I say you should watch it, but I still think that you should. I'm really glad that everyone just wants. Like, shall I just write a list of all movies that I've seen at this point?
Jupiter Ascending is the forgettable white guy face of movies.
What?
Hyper RPG Zach, would you put Shutter Island and Donnie Darko next to each other when it comes to mind fucking? No, I wouldn't. I thought Shutter Island was pretty by the numbers. Donnie Darko, the original cut, I thought was brilliant. Terror Trooper Hyper Power, go! But the director's cut I actually thought was kind of crap.
Zach and all at Hyper, Joe, Anna, Lauren, Claudia, Emily, and all the others I missed. Thanks for making the channel feeling like a new home. Keep it up. And before I forget it, #AdsTechnology.
I love how it has technology.
Technology.
It's a nice little
Alexander
uptick.
Invictus wants to know, as someone like me who does not have a base to stream on and a burgeoning streamer, what advice can you give? Oh, fuck, man.
Don't do it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say don't do it, because some people figure it out.
You just gotta grind.
You gotta grind, man. It's like that MMO thing, the grind. You see us, we're grinding. We're grinding our asses off. And we have like 30 people coming through here every week that are employed. And we're still only averaging like 300 viewers, so I don't know what to tell you. Like,
Just find your niche.
yeah, find your niche. We're trying to create a niche, which can be tough. If you're really good at one game, follow that through. I would say if you are a single streamer and you're trying to do variety, it's going to be really tough. Just because there's so many people, but it's tough, man. Twitch equals the Korean grinding MMO of the job world. Yeah, pretty much.
We're still in the tutorial mission.
Niche. You just stream a whole bunch and hope you can generate a following. It helps to be exceptionally skilled at a particular game. And you know, it's easy, but it's not. I wish I could say that there's one... The thing I've learned the most from researching Twitch a lot over the last year and a half is there is no one way to do anything at all. And sometimes you can get discovered and get really lucky, and that can be all it takes. But that's going to happen a lot less and less and less the more oversaturated the platform gets. The larger the platform gets, the harder it's going to be to get discovered. So a couple years ago, it was much easier to hear about people who just started and blew up. You're going to hear that way less now. It's very oversaturated. It's going to be tough.
White Wabbit keeps asking. That's really fun to say. About my students. So my students aren't necessarily in special ed by default. They are in residential treatment. So most of them have experienced pretty extreme trauma of some kind. most all of them have been abused in some capacity.
Kiyohoga says, look at Geek and Sundry. It got huge exposure from Critical Role. That is exactly the opposite of what happened, Kiyohoga. Pretty sure
Do you need a
Felicia
moment to deal with that?
Felicia Day gave them exposure. Let's be real. She gave all of us exposure. Felicia is a fucking powerhouse. You add up every member of Critical Role's Twitter account, and it's on not even half of Felicia Day. She's a fucking media powerhouse in the internet world.
She complimented my chest size when I got a picture with her.
Of course she did.
She didn't do it intentionally. Literally, the words out of her mouth just went, "You're stacked!" And then she felt embarrassed. And we took a picture.
She probably didn't really feel embarrassed. She just did that because she realized people could see her and she wanted to make them think she was embarrassed.
Maybe. I don't know. I believe it. But it was my one meeting.
Yep.
Thanks for ruining that for me.
Yeah, I'll be down in LA like May 10th through the 13th. Hyper Park, yeah!
Holy shit.
Lauren, how did you get into Shadowrun and what made you want to DM it? Also hashtag Mitsuhama.
I think they also.
Hyper
Park, go!
Have you seen this thing?
No.
Hey Jupiter Ascending had that one really cool looking elephant guy makeup. High quality stuff setter -crop PS. F you Zach.
Here's how much I love that movie. That character's name is Ganesh. I know what you're talking about. Anyway, how did I get in Shadowrun? I ran a Shadowrun campaign 5 years ago-ish as the first campaign that I ever ran. Power go!
Joe, time for a laugh track. Zach's forgettable white guy face. That is all. Setter -crop.
Oh god.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, where was I? I was talking about running my first campaign, which was Shadowrun, which was not... I'm gonna... Just don't do it as your first one. There are a lot of rules, and I know I know now that I got a lot of them wrong the entire time that I was doing it. I also, at the time, again, because I've said I'm very aggressive with friendship, I didn't know how to say no. And by saying no, I mean saying no to myself, because I kept just being like, I'm doing this Shadowrun game. You should come be one of my players. And so literally at one point I had 10 people there.
That's a lot
That
for
is
Shadowrun.
too many people.
Way
That
too many
is
for Shadowrun.
Too many people for any
This game is complex as fuck.
campaign. And there were so many rules, and we were all trying to figure it all out, and no one knew what they were doing, and I didn't know what I was doing, and no one had ever played it before. But I loved the setting so much, and being based out of Seattle, and also at the time, it was right when, in the lore of the world, all of the awakening was supposed to be happening. So I decided that I was just gonna make all of my players play themselves in the future.
Nice.
So
man, that'd
we
be fucked up. I'd love to play myself 10 years from now. I'm gonna be
we
tore the fuck up.
had to mess around with some of the timeline stuff, but yeah, it was basically they were supposed to be themselves in like 20 or so years.
I like this
which is
Shadowrun,
really great.
the EVE Online of tabletop RPGs.
Yeah, no, that's about right.
Yeah. It's hard to get new people to really get into it. I'm glad the videos are going over well, though. People keep telling us that people are liking the videos and that it's helping them understand. So I think your teacher voice helps a lot.
I'm good at explaining stuff to people who don't know what's going on.
Yeah. And of course, there's always the people that complain. They're like, oh, by the way, you forgot about this and you forgot about that.
I definitely rewatched the video, and like I did not count the number of hits properly in one of the rolls, and I was like, someone will go call that one out.
Yeah, somebody said something about wounding too. Like wounds.
Wound modifiers. I didn't go into that. There is a lot of shit that you can go into. It's pretty great. So that was how I got started in Shadowrun, and thus I had the most experience out of all of the people playing.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'll be DMing my first game soon. I've never DM'd before. And I'm gonna be
exciting.
going from never DMing in my life to DMing in front of the internet and on a show.
There's no way that would feel. There's literally no way that could fail. The first game Claudia and I played together was D&D, and bonus points if you can guess what the last D stood for. I don't actually know if you're guessing or not.
I'm thinking.
Okay, that's great. Come back
The
to it.
first game you and Claudia ever played together
was D&D.
D&D.
It was a one-off. It was not a recurring storyline.
I give up.
It was Dungeons, Dragons, and drinking.
Yeah, I should have known that.
Yeah. It's okay. You'll get there eventually. Dungeons,
Jackal?
Dragons, and
It's a Jackal.
Dames.
Yeah, D&D and
Dames.
Dungeons and Dragons and Jackal. It's a Jackal.
Well, in fairness, actually, this character, the NPC from tonight, their name is a J sound that does spelled with a D. So it could be Jackal spelled DZ.
That's stupid.
No, it's Russian.
Okay.
Probably.
Well, Russians aren't stupid, but that's stupid.
And at one point, I did come up with very intricate rules for playing Dungeons and Dragons and drinking.
Oh, yeah?
It was an entire system based off of you could take a shot in order to get just an automatic 20, which was pretty great. So we got really that was fun too.
Mondra the Great's getting right into it. I was going to wait a little bit to get into this. We asked Trix this. Now I want to ask your opinion. Do you feel to be a target of sexism in the real world and in the gaming world?
Yes and no. I've been lucky enough to be like, my D&D group that I played with pretty regularly have all been. There's a pretty reasonable gender balance, and they're all very welcoming and accepting. But there are also times when I am reminded that I exist in fairly insular communities within the internet and in the real world. And like literally in my first student teaching, I had a student and I was like talking about video games, and he just looked at me and said, "You're a girl, you can't play games." I'm like, wow, you are like 12 and you have already internalized this. Excellent.
You're like, who's your dad? I want to punch him in the dick.
Yeah. Or just the internet in general. So like there are times where I get reminded that is, I live in like I exist in a unique setting where people do believe that I play video games and not that I'm doing it for attention, because who the fuck would do this for attention?
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of fucking work.
A lot of people do. But they crave on attention. But that's
that's
not
totally
wrong.
different. I do a
not
lot
wrong.
of shit for attention.
Yeah.
Humans do. There are literally 3 reasons that people do stuff. Well, 2 if you want to simplify it. They're to get something or to get away from something. And the things that you want to get are normally attention or an object. I use the fact that people love attention every day to stop my kids from punching things and like, oh, here's attention. Woo, I'm excited. So like everyone does everything for attention, but not because like without some sort of other personal reward, like you wouldn't put in that much effort into something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot of work. Like if I didn't also enjoy it, I wouldn't play.
I mean, I get it. I do it to run away from everything.
Okay.
When you simplify it, like
You're
that, I'm
in
like,
the you're in the avoidance category.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
behaviorism. It's super great. We can talk about it all day.
I do enjoy behaviorism. I do a show like this where we just sit and talk about that shit. It's fun. And I really like judging myself. A lot.
That seems overly critical.
I am extremely overly critical. I've gotten so much better though. I realized that the other day, since I started doing Twitch, if it's taught me anything, it's to be less critical and to let certain things just be done and be like, it's live, it happened, it's over, moving on.
It
I
helps
used to
coming from
obsess.
like the improv background is every show is different, and like I used to do, like I remember doing plays in high school, and like I remember like not going to like not sleeping after one show, it went terribly, and then doing improv, you're like, well, I guess I'll try it again next week and hope I do better. So it's a lot easier to just know that you fucked it up, but you're gonna have another chance to try not to fuck it up.
Yeah, I got that a lot from painting, and I like critique so much, and I like. I mean, I joke all the time that I like negative critique, but I really do. What's funny is I'll almost always argue with it, especially if it's people in the chat, and then I'll write notes. Like, you have no idea what you're talking about. That's a pretty good idea. I'm gonna write that down. Stupid idea, alien knitter. I'm gonna write that down.
I
mean, Pete was an alien knitter. You guys are stupid. You don't know anything you're talking about. And then I go meet with somebody else. I'm like, okay, we need to figure out what they're talking about, and let's do that.
I mean, that makes sense. I feel like, and to some extent, I have trained the chat. I've also trained the players that like now my smile means something bad is gonna happen. And I enjoy having that power.
I'm excited to GM because I also like having power.
Yeah, you had the exact, when you were rolling dice for the corpses, like, oh, that's the face that I make.
A little bit maybe more crazy eyes.
Well, yeah, that's the lack of sleep.
I guess we can announce that now. Oh god. Oh, I need something. Oh, just pop. Ah, little. Damn it. Whew. So I will be GMing a show coming up on this channel. We're still trying to find out when. Hyper Rabbit Power, go!
That got very close to a high number. Just as a warning, if you do not articulate that
Xiao Ya Xiao Ping. Ha, just kidding. Thanks for all you do, Zach.
Cool.
Sorry I can't watch more often. I wish I could. As for Lauren, I'd rather watch Surf Ninjas instead of Jupiter Ascending.
You're wrong.
What question would you want to explore using movies?
What question do I want to explore using movies? I don't even know what that means. That question.
Yeah. So we've been talking for a little bit. A couple weeks ago, I asked you guys on Rabbit Stew if you'd rather see a show where I'm GMing a Marvel game or a Valiant game. Surprisingly, the audience voted for Valiant, but I also think that vote was tarnished because then I explained that we probably couldn't even do Marvel anyway because of the licensing shit. I mean, we could do it, but if it got popular, we'd get in trouble. And the goal with anything is for it to get popular. So we're going with Valiant. And another reason I wanted to go with Valiant is because Catalyst, who is a good friend of ours, makes a Valiant RPG game.
Oh.
And I also know the CEO of Valiant. And
I feel like you're well set up for this.
I'm well set up for this. So I went and had a meeting, an impromptu meeting with the Valiant guys at ECCC, and they're really pumped. And they're really excited about it. So after talking to them, went back to Valiant, and now we have a really good conversation started, getting all the assets we need, and I'm reviewing everything and figuring out how to make it work for Twitch. I like the premise of that as a system because it's less GMing and more you're a narrator. You're the comic book narrator, which is kind of ingrained into my DNA. So I'm excited to do that.
That's pretty cool.
But the big thing is I got to find people who know the Valiant universe.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 players already that are pretty interested, who are fans of the Valiant universe. One of them being AJ from BattleTech. He's a big Valiant fan. But I'm really excited about it because I love comic books and superhero stories. And I think the idea I haven't seen anybody really doing superhero stuff on Twitch yet, which is surprising from a role-playing standpoint. It's all fantasy and sci-fi, so I'm excited to do that. Crid, I don't know if we're going to go hardcorps or not. I'm trying to decide how I want to do it. I might set them up as new members. I don't know, there's so many different ways I could go with it. I don't know what to do. Because I have to decide,
You have to make some decisions at some point.
I know, it's either they could be new
something.
recruits for hardcorps, and or they could be under Peter's control, trying to take down, a new Harbinger team or something. I'm excited. Hyper Up Power, go!
I just realized that I have put everything else on hold to watch you two. Thanks for destroying my evening.
You're
Thanks.
welcome.
Lol.
Welcome. Small-time heroes on the street like a young Spider-Man. See, anything later, man. Anything I do will probably be starting them with custom characters because I think it's more fun to start from custom and build up. The system they built allows you to play as either the full Unity squad or you don't know anything about that in comics. So.
No, I will listen though. I will listen and not as happens.
But I'm excited because it's a really cool way to explore a new universe for everyone, and I think it's a really easy universe for people to get into because you can read the wiki on Valiant and pretty quickly catch up. And Valiant really soon is gonna be huge, and that's why I really want to do it. Is they're gonna fucking blow up, and if we could be on the cusp of that, to where when those guys become household names, which will be really soon, between all the TV and movie deals they've got in the works right now. Shit. And so I'm excited. Yeah, they're working on Ninjak right now. I'm gonna start shutting up though because I don't know what all I can say. I haven't signed any NDAs, but at the same time I don't want to be a dick.
That's fair.
Will players know their powers from the start, or will they emerge organically on the show? I don't know, Elaki. That's a good question. I don't know. They'll probably start with them, though. Because we got to get them together. Or not. We'll see. We'll see. Valiant is in the comic line. That is correct, Teleware. We're still working on the Paizo show. That's in the works. We got...
Do you have enough stuff going on?
Hyper Rabbit Power Go!
Good night, Joe.
Sinescopy, it's been... I want to. We'll just say that. Do you think they should reboot the DC universe in film? I don't give a shit. I just don't care.
I feel like you normally have opinions.
I don't care about the DC universe. I just don't care. Zach, how do you go about approaching someone with a project you want them in on? What do you need to show them, and what do you need to know ahead of time? CKJS, it's all about the elevator pitch. So much of my job is just being passionate about an idea and going to someone else with that idea. The hard part is when they say, yeah, cool, let's do it. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
You have to know
really
stuff.
Huh?
That's when you have to have an actual plan.
Yeah. I'm really good at pitching ideas.
It should just be, if that could be your job, can you just be the pitch?
It kind of is my job. I'm the CEO. I'm supposed to, like, be thinking high level and doing all the, which I do, and then I do it, and then I'm like, fuck, now how do we accomplish this, team? Oh, no, oh, fuck, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry, I just got us 2 new shows. Oh, fuck, I'm sorry.
You got this. That's the worst that could happen.
God damn it.
Literally, I actually can answer that question, but it's fine. Heat death of the universe. It's always the answer.
Cool. Somebody says, fuck it, just do an Image universe thing. See, Image doesn't really have a universe, and that's why Image is Image. What I like about Valiant is they have like 6 books. Each book only coming out 1 a month, and their universe is really contained. So it's kind of like if you were going to do a Marvel anything, or even tell Marvel movies. What I always say about Valiant is it's like the Marvel, what the Marvel movies should be in comic book form. Whereas the Marvel movies can't be as expansive and great and big as the Marvel comics. Valiant has taken more of a Marvel movie approach to comics, but really well written, really well contained, and really well thought out. And there's like a waiting list of a couple years to work with them. Creators want to work with them so bad, and the waiting list is a couple years long. It's nuts.
That's crazy.
Like, it took Jodie a couple years to get her book made. To get Faith done. Zach, who is your right-hand person to run everything when you are not on site? Joe, probably. Given that he's the most hands-on with what needs to be, like, done in any given moment. But we don't have an official, like, second in command, which wasn't really, I mean, I probably should.
You could just get a hat and then put it on.
Put it on whoever. I'm like, now you! I mean, I'm going to, like I said earlier, I'm going to be out of town May 10th through maybe the 15th or 16th. For like 6 days.
It's really hard not to set everything on fire.
I'm nervous. I'm actually, like really, really nervous. I wanted to be at a certain point before May. Hey! Joe Goes Live just subscribed. What's up, Joe Goes Live? Thank you for subscribing. 2 more. Steam Geek away. So I have to go down and do some stuff in LA. I'm really bummed because my birthday would have been here on the channel, and then I got booked for something in LA and I have to leave. And I wanted to spend my birthday up here with all you guys. So, sucks.
The Ninja Eye asked why I moved back from San Francisco.
Say what?
The Ninja Eye asked why I moved back from San Francisco.
Oh, we'll get there. The interns, we're interviewing interns. Yumiko, 1739, thank you for following. We're interviewing interns Friday, and then we have a new employee starting as a production assistant in May, like first week of May, which is part of the reason I'm able to leave. But I'm going to be so nervous. I'll be watching with a computer every single day and like...
Is that... I feel like that's making it worse, though.
No, because then I'll tell him. Beard check, just subscribed. 1 more for Steam
but everything
giveaway.
you say will be on a 30-second delay.
True, but I still will watch and be like, you need to fix this. This isn't in the right spot. Turn the light on here. Adjust the sound volume here. Like,
Good.
I do that.
I'm sure you
Joe
will.
hates it. When I was at ECCC, I was watching and sending him notes. I'm like, Mitch's camera is a little dark. You need to turn that up. This isn't right. This isn't right. I feel bad for those guys, but it's fucking get over it. Change scares me. Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, we have to grow, and the thing is, I say we have to grow. We haven't hit our point where we can grow yet, but we have to. How old did the studio run while you were out on Friday? It was all right. White Rabbit. They did go home at 8:30, and I would have never allowed that. And that's a true story. Prime time, we were in front page rotation, and they decided, we've had enough. We'll go home. You don't stop when you're on front page rotation. You find something else to do, and you hold it. That's possible more followers and exposure that you wouldn't have otherwise. Zach, any recommendations for an introduction to the Valiant universe for someone that knows nothing about it? Check out Unity. It's their team book, and it's a good place to start. Am I still looking for interns? No, we have like 5 applying on Friday. Oy. What else do you currently DM?
Oh, good God. Do you think I have time for more than one show?
Nope.
Come up with a session a week.
Nope.
When I ran my own show, it was like, I guess I finished planning it. I'll see when people are free. I do not DM anything else currently. It's too much. I also have to plan lessons every weekend, so it's a lot of planning.
What's your family background? Somebody asked. You got brothers and sisters?
I have one sister that does not look anything like me, as we've clarified. She has weird, just very different looking.
Similar personalities?
Not really. She is an introvert, and I am an extrovert. And she's a lot more serious. Well, there are some similarities. We can tell when we're both doing things that we've clearly learned from our parents. But I take a lot more traits from my mom than she does, and she takes a lot more traits from our dad.
Also, do you see how these guys are? These little the little pokes, pokes.
Asking questions.
Or it's like, ooh, obviously, hey, hyper out power, go!
1994 Double Dragon movie was better than Jupiter Ascending.
I regret stating my opinion on the internet. Clearly it backfired.
Really? The Street Fighter movie.
I watched that. It was terrible.
Wait, you've seen that one?
I spent a lot.
You've seen that one?
Okay.
You watched Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Was that the one with James Marsters as the green guy? Because that's that's the Dragon Ball movie. I haven't seen the Street Fighter movie. So here's the thing. My parents still live in England, so that means that I fly to England a lot,
okay.
And I'm taking like 16-hour flights with a layover. And you have a lot of free time.
Oh, Double Dragon. Double Dragon. I thought they said Street Fighter. Sorry. Double Dragon.
That I haven't seen.
Equally as terrible as Street Fighter.
I'm gonna.
I enjoyed Street
Don't
Fighter
yuck
more,
my
though.
yum yum.
Actually-
Don't yuck my yum yum.
Okay. I actually enjoyed Street Fighter a lot, though, because it was so bad it was good. I mean, it got Jean-Claude Van Damme in it.
My students don't have access to the internet without adult supervision. It's great.
That's probably a good idea.
Oh yeah. So no, they are not watching. They also dear God, they should all be in bed. How did I grew up in, you do realize that in England they speak English, right? White Wabbit asked, how did you get into improv since you were in a non-English speaking country as a teenager? I lived in Italy for 4 years. I did not get into improv when I was in Italy because I was 6 through 10. And they do speak English in England. Even though it sounds more like this. It is still, in fact, English. I didn't get into improv, though, until college, when I joined the improv group at the UW, which is called The Collective. They're pretty great.
I dated a girl from England in college.
Congratulations.
As close as I got to England.
It's a lovely place.
Yep. Let's see here. More questions. Oh, I was making fun of them about. So I did it again. I just said San Francisco.
Yeah.
So what I like about this and why the internet is nice assholes. They're nice. You guys are all really nice for the internet. You're still assholes. Is I made a joke that I was going to come back to it because I was prying a little bit because it was pretty obvious. If you go to San Francisco, it doesn't go well.
Yeah.
And you say that out loud, and you had to move back here in December. And I'm like, oh, that obviously, it must have been with a person. And then everybody's like, talk about it. Drama. We want drama. Talk about it.
Fine.
So, Who dumped who in San Francisco?
I had been dating them for 2 years, and then they got a job in San Francisco, so they moved down in January of last year, and I was like, I will go, and this sounds like a great idea.
And you were there for a year then?
No, I didn't move down until because I was still in grad school, so I had to
Okay.
finish my program. So then I moved down over the summer. So I was there for about 6 months, and I realized that I was miserable. So I said that I had to leave, and I came back.
That was not nearly a dramatic enough story. You
No,
gotta fluff it up for the internet.
I spent a lot of time crying.
Okay.
I had to go back on antidepressants. I didn't really see people and just sort of sat alone in an apartment a lot. I also hated my job at the time because I didn't have anything to do at work because I didn't have enough students to work with. And so then I would sit alone in my giant classroom and cry in there as well. It's a lot of crying. I threw a lot of tissues. But we were not in a place in our relationship that was ready to live in another place together. Like, we hadn't lived together at all at that point.
That's
and I was
rough.
like, I think this will
That's
probably
rough.
be a great idea. And then it turned out that we didn't have enough things in common to actually facilitate doing anything together. So like my interests and their interests were not the same. And so then we just didn't spend time together. And I'm an extrovert. And the way I suppress all of my anxiety is spending time with people. And so then I was suddenly by myself. And that did not go well for me. It was also the same when I lived alone in a studio apartment for 6 months. The worst 6 months ever.
Really? I'm the exact opposite. I am a huge introvert, would prefer to just be alone, painting, working on stuff or whatever. And then I put myself in a position where I'm now having to communicate with people all day long and a bunch of random people on the internet. And
Pretty frequently.
yeah,
Smart.
like all day.
That was smart.
Smart or exhausting?
See, this is great for me because when I'm around people, I don't think about all of the things that could possibly go wrong. When
You don't think about how sad the story was you just told because you're like, oh, there's people here to experience it with me.
Well, but when I lived alone in a studio, I literally would just lie there at night and think about all of the things that could go wrong. I was at a point where I didn't know if I wanted to sleep with the windows open or closed because if I slept with the windows open, someone might come in and kidnap me and murder me. And if I slept with the windows closed, I might die of carbon monoxide
See, to me,
poisoning.
that sounds like you have something that you're not dealing with and you're using being around people to cover it up.
This is very true.
It doesn't mean that the problem is fixed or you've gotten the
Oh
proper...
no, it's all irrational anxiety.
Yeah, that seems like that's always going to rear its head right back up.
Probably. That's
Yeah.
why I don't live alone right now. I live with people like Claudia.
Who would fix the
It's
being alone part?
I'm not alone. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
So I recognize that they're all irrational fears and that I don't necessarily need to have them at all times, but they're there. I'm just chilling.
They're all getting really mad that I called them random people. Because we dated for They say it was like a year that we dated.
The internet?
It was about 3 months.
Okay. The internet
4
saying
months.
that? I'm
3
confused who
months.
you're referencing right now.
The internet.
Okay.
We had a thing.
You dated the internet.
I was pretty lonely.
That's fair. I mean, I also was in a year-long, long-distance relationship in the UK with someone in the UK, so that was also fun.
I used to do that a lot when I was younger because it was easier for me.
As an introvert, it was not great as an extrovert. It was a very taxing relationship. I would spend like 6 hours a day playing Minecraft with them. And then go to sleep and just see blocks.
We were the best you ever had, Zach. That's not true. Malika's pretty fucking great. Schlink. So say what you want. Malika's awesome. I dated much longer than 3 months. Well, I don't know if that's true. Started dating Malika in June. March. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Math is hard. It's okay.
Man, the chat room sure is needy. Yeah. Yeah.
We're paying attention to you. It's fine.
Yeah, the music is sad,
there.
D. Evanson. I have nothing else to add to that comment. Obey the Llamas is now following. Thank you for the follow. Fuck, my legs are killing me. Whew! Lauren,
Yes.
you've been here for a little while. If
Yeah.
we could do anything to make this channel more awesome, what would you do? What should we
That
do
sounds
to
like
make
a
this
loaded
channel more
question.
awesome? Well, no, it's. I appreciate you guys' feedback. I usually don't ask for it.
I genuinely, I have no perspective on this. Like, I don't know what makes Twitch channels more awesome, having A, never been a part of one, and B, never really participated in one.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool that there is, like, it's like actually getting to have conversations with the chat is kind of exciting. It's a little weird with the delay. It's like talking with someone that's really slow and struggles to converse. But it's not a platform I have a lot of experience with.
Yeah.
So I don't really know if I have a good suggestions
Well,
on how to make it more
yeah,
awesome.
you were just a lot of help for sure.
You're welcome.
More Lauren does equal more awesome. Yeah, spring break this week. You could get on the Discord and chat with them sometime. There's no delay there. It's all
I
real
could.
time.
That's true. I do need
Discord's a lot
to
of
do
fun.
that. They hired runners this week, so I have to figure out what that's all gonna be about.
Drugfletch said, don't think of us as a Twitch channel, think of us as a TV station. A really weird hybrid TV station, maybe.
Yeah.
It's definitely very not Twitch. And I've been finding that a lot recently with trying to explain it to possible investors or people that were tuning in. Like even when I first go, luckily with Valiant. Oh god. Hyper Up Power Go!
We are really slow, Lauren. That's why Zach and Chad are soulmates.
So nice of them.
Anyway, it is really hard to be on a platform and doing something really different with it. And some people see that as like, oh, you guys would do better if you just did this. Well, yeah, but then we wouldn't be doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it would be a completely different thing, and it wouldn't be this.
What strikes me is what's happening. My perception is what's happening here is not standard for Twitch.
It's not at all. Not even close.
Keep
Pops
I
180 is
say,
now following. Thank you so much.
keep doing what you're doing, but I think you should sleep more.
I would like to.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to. It's very difficult. The more anxiety I get, the harder it is too. Because
So
like
here-
right now, my legs hurt so bad, I won't be sleeping tonight. There's no way. I'm going to be in
Have
so
you
much
heard of
pain.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Yeah, but I feel like I do. The
Okay.
problem is how you gauge your priorities.
Okay, yeah, but the idea
I
is that
take-
you can't do stuff higher up without taking care of the stuff at the bottom. Like, you can't do it effectively.
There's always.
Are you choosing to disagree with me?
Kind of, because of the stuff that needs to get done that all like hinges on whether or not we succeed. Part of the problem with Twitch is that it's constantly live and it's constantly, you have to reinvigorate it. And the second you decide, you know what, I'm going to slow down a little bit, your numbers drop. And I can track it. Haha 8P, thank you for following. I can track it to the point that I'm like, okay, I need a break. I need to be able to focus a little bit more on getting some stuff ready for the rest of the channel to where, okay, I can't do Rabbit Stew anymore. And unless it's a Wednesday, I've got too much on my plate. Claudia is amazing. Emily, amazing. Hooligan Gamer is now following.
Woo!
I have the most experience hosting, even if they don't think I'm. There's a learned art to trolling the internet in the right way. And MI135 is now following. Thank you so much. And I think Emily and Claudia will get there. I think Claudia's personality is phenomenal in that role. And I think it's going to take... Colvin is now following. Thank you so much. I think it's going to take a little bit to flip them around to learning how to control that room. Mm-hmm. And by me taking a break, we've made $400 less. So it's like, that's the kind of stuff that hangs over my head constantly because of our overhead. And it's like, okay, if I don't get this one video done, say this one video brought in this many new viewers or did this kind of thing and exposed us to this new audience, blah, 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 blah. If I don't do it, we're going backwards. Every week, I have to be able to look at our stats and see that we've had a follower increase, a sub increase, an overall view count increase, and that we are constantly moving forward because we're still not even close. We're not even fucking close to where we need to be. And that's why I took such a personal kind of approach to someone donation shaming during DFA last week.
Yeah.
And kind of picking on the people who are choosing to donate. And it's like, well, if you pick on those people and make them feel uncomfortable, our channel disappears. Because our subscriber count's a lot lower than it needs to be. The content that we're making, like, I get it because people can come back and tell us, like, well, you guys just don't have a very good business model. Yeah, no shit. We're trying to do something nobody's ever done before. It's really unique. We've employed way too many people, but we don't want you guys to work for free. Now, granted, we barely pay you. We still don't want anyone to work for
I'm a
free.
teacher.
And we want to take care of people. I don't want my employees to not have benefits. That's an extra cost. Everything is extra cost. The studio, extra cost. The equipment, the cameras, the switching. We could do it half-ass, and then it wouldn't be as good. And it wouldn't scale properly.
I totally understand that, but I'd also argue there's a difference between doing something half-assed and actually taking care of your own needs as a human being. Like, we're humans, and like
I
we have
agree
things
with
that we
you.
need.
I agree with you in that, but as a leader, and I got this from directing and stuff too. I will never ever feel comfortable asking people to do something that I wouldn't do myself.
Yeah, but just because you wouldn't, like, there's a difference between not doing it because you don't want to and not doing it because you have other things that you have to be responsible for. Like, I spend a lot of time with people that literally can't sit still in a chair because they're going, like, they can't do stuff because they haven't taken care of, like, the fact that they haven't slept, or, you know, there's...
No, I understand that.
There's no point destroying yourself over something if that means, like, ultimately you will burn out.
It's
and you will
all...
have
No,
to
I've been
stop.
doing this for like a year and a half.
I
Burning out's
recognize
not...
that.
I'm not going to burn out. I would have burned out by now.
I don't know.
I would have burned out by
Okay.
now. Believe me, this is normal. Believe it or
Okay.
not, in this field. This is live content. When I was talking to Black Magic after a couple months at Geek and Sundry, they were like, I'm really surprised you're still doing this and you haven't turned to alcoholism or quit yet. Because the turnover burnout rate is super, super high. Because it is an always on thing. Mm-hmm. It's a very weird thing to be always on. And at this stage, someone has to pick up the pieces. And if we're employing people who've never done it before, then someone has to teach them. And there's that whole balance of like, okay, well, we could stay in pre-production for a really long time and have enough time to train everyone. Hyper Out Power, go!
Hey, wait, did Lauren just call us slow?
Good.
Somebody said, Zach, you are burnt out. No, I'm not. Chaos. No, I'm not.
He's gonna disagree.
Definitely
with you.
not. I'm tired. I am tired. And I have taxes and other shit that are really beating me down right now, but I will be here in the morning painting my ass off, and I will enjoy it. And I'm enjoying this, too. I'm not burnt out. I know what burnout is. I've worked with people who are burnt out, and they just don't do their work, and they quit. Like, they don't get their job done.
In behavior, the behavior sect of special ed, like, the burnout rate is, like, 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
To 1 year.
Yeah, it's hard work. It's
Most people...
psychologically very hard work.
Oh, it's great. Literally, our first staff training was about secondary trauma, and I was like, I hadn't even thought about that. Like, okay, what am I in for now?
But what I would say is, I think we will get to a point where I'll be able to pull back.
Okay.
I think hiring the interns and getting another employee is going to help with that. It will be hard at first because we'll have to train them and
Yeah.
get them ready for the work. But if you think about it, like, everyone coming in here is new at this.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone. This is a job that doesn't exist. You know, like, these guys have all caught on really quick, but it's still a huge learning. And every day we're still encountering things where I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah, they wouldn't know how to do that because I haven't explained it yet. And that's on, like, it's on me as the person in charge to be like, shit, yeah, I got to figure out how to explain that because nobody else has ever had to do it. It's a completely new field. It's a new environment. And making it a business is really new.
Yeah.
Making it a profitable business as well, we don't know if that's a thing yet. We don't even know if that's a thing yet because nobody else has done that. But just don't get this channel running and then jump to another new channel again, Zach. Robin Hood, I take offense to that because that wasn't my channel. I was an employee. In fact, I was a private contractor that was never even given benefits or anything other than a day rate. I was not the owner of that channel. I was a showrunner, and showrunner turnover is in LA it is what it is. This is my channel, so I'm here. If it works, it works. If not, I go down with it. It's my channel. It's a lot different than me being a private contractor. Anyway, you can argue about all that stuff for a long time. I'm just saying, it'll get better. For now, it's going to be hard. And it's going to be really hard. And I know it's going to be really hard. I think, and Joe already is, Elmsworth. Joe is already stepping up a lot to give me space when it's needed. He's doing that a lot. And so is Emily and Anna. They all are. But it's a learning curve. Everyone's figuring it out as we go. There's a lot of things I forget to tell them because we have so many other shit going on. And it's just, it's very unique and different in that way. I wish whenever I started this job, and I thought about it too, I was like, how do I put in like a pamphlet? Like, this is what this will be. Mm-hmm. And then even after week 1, because it's live content, we're like, okay, everything I said we're going to do about that, out the window, fuck that. I've been listening to Gimlet a lot. I love podcasts, especially when I'm working on like really monotonous stuff. And their startup podcast is awesome. I really love the startup podcast. And there's so many things that we experience and what they're talking about on a fucking roller coaster speed. Because most companies, and I experienced this with my first company, my production company, it was a much longer draw out. You know, it was a company for 4 years, and it was like, its growth pattern was so drawn out. What I'm finding with this live stuff is it's just like ludicrous speed, and you just fucking take off. And because the perception of the people watching, and this was something I always had a really hard time explaining to Legendary when we were trying to get shows pushed through, is it'd be like, okay, we need to do this. The audience wants it. There's this thing they want. We got to do it now because they're asking for it. And I'm like, okay, well, let's set up a couple meetings. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then it goes around and around and around. And by the time we finally get to it, they've already gotten bored and they've moved on because they're watching every day. It's so different than like movies and TV where you like pre-plan for a couple months. You have a planned, 12 episode run. You flip it out. Your network knows you've got this other show that then fills that void. And like it's live content where you've got people who are watching like 5 to 6 hours a day, and they get the jokes. They repeat the jokes. If you don't have a new joke in a week, you're old news. They're tired of it. If you have a show that's getting stale and you keep doing it, they get bored with it really, really quickly. So you're constantly rewriting the rules over and over and over and over again. As you know, because I'll tell you guys to do new stuff on Shadowrun constantly, and we'll keep trying to make improvements every week.
Do that better.
Because we don't want people... It's just so different. And YouTube's a lot different too. Doing 1 3-minute video and having it come out once a week is a lot different than a 3.5 hour long session. Hyper Rabbit Power, go!
Zach burning out in 3, 2, 1. P.S. #Shayawas.
Yeah. So I think it's just such a weird, unique thing. And there's other things where it's like, I know already what needs to be changed, but I've looked at our resources and go, okay, we can't. And it's like it drives me crazy. Jacob D807, thank you for following. Because I see her every week, it's not working. And then I'm like, okay, do I focus my attention on that or focus on something new that I think will actually be better for the channel? So we focus on something new, and I know that there's certain things that get stale. Free Beer Tomorrow is now following. Thank you for the follow. We'll constantly be reinventing and making new stuff, but I think the interns will help. I think the new employee will help. I mean, it has to, because I have to start being able to leave. As a CEO, I've got to be able to start like taking meetings and meeting other people and the stuff I hate, but it drives me crazy because I like being on the ground. I like being like in the trenches and having to like
I'm gonna make a parallel right now.
Fly to somewhere else and like meet somebody and shake their hand and maybe or maybe not do something is
very Leslie Knope.
Yeah, a little
less
bit.
positive.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like a sad Leslie Knope. Zach is sad Leslie Knope.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I'm not gonna argue with that one.
No. It's the wanting to be on the ground, wanting to do everything, putting everything else ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
And but less happy about it all.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Excellent, I figured it out.
But again, I'll argue with anyone that comes on the show. I don't know what I feel about the term happiness. Like, I don't need it. I like because I don't know, the term happiness even weirds me out sometimes, because it's, do I have moments where I feel really happy? Yeah, totally. Do I think it's the most important thing in the world? No. I don't value my worth on happiness. I value my worth on like lots of different things. Accomplishments, achievements, overcoming adversities.
Would you consider like feeling satisfied, or like would that be something that's more important?
It depends. Like it's very multi-tiered, you know. Like I don't necessarily believe in this like American, like turn of the century like
by bootstraps.
Happiness. Well, no, the bootstraps thing I agree more with. It's more since the 40s and 50s after the Second World War, where happiness became this thing of like, you can be happy. The nuclear family kind of thing, which is where a lot of that stemmed from. I think pride is a very valuable thing to have in your life, and that's not necessarily the same thing as happiness. And I think accomplishment and just, I don't know, pride is probably the most important, because you set it yourself. It's your own gauge. It's your own, only you know when you hit it and when you're comfortable with it. But it's also the little things. I think Malika and I work really well together because we both have very similar viewpoints on that. Mm-hmm. Like we both make each other happy, but we both understand that that's not what's the most important thing in the world to us. It's like accomplishments, creation.
It's interesting that you delineate that, because like to me the idea of being happy is tied up in those. Like that is a sense of satisfaction, and that's something that brings me joy in my life, is feeling those senses of accomplishment. Like happiness is like the umbrella category for all of those things that provide me that feeling, and so those are the things that I do in order to have that experience. It's just interesting that you separate those two things out.
I do, because it's not like something where I'm like inside I'm like, you know. It's not that. It's more like, all right, what's next? You know, like, cool. And it's also more of like, need that to sustain when not having it plummet. You know, it's like if I'm not achieving, if I'm not pushing, if I'm not trying to accomplish something, then I feel that heavily weighting down on me. And you'll find one of the reasons I think Tilt Brush is really good for me in this show, Full Tilt, is because it's giving me... Malika is motivated by love. Is one of the things I like about Full Tilt is it's giving me a chance to have a 3 to 4 hour start here, finish here. It's why I always liked art for the most part, and Lego sets and anything. It's starting with nothing and finishing with something, and having that like finite, like I did that. Moving on. In product, don't care. Like having something on a wall later, don't care. I don't need to be reminded. It's the act of doing it. The act of starting it, finishing it, moving on to the next thing. That's what keeps me going. If I'm in that place where it's not getting done and it's ambiguously just like this channel, like ambiguously like looming over me, it more is like a weight and need to just be accomplishing things. And I give myself a lot of small things to accomplish all the time to trick myself into thinking that I'm moving forward. Playing my own system, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, I will bribe myself with things like, as I like writing my thesis was a long process. That was a lot of, well, if I write this paragraph, I get a piece of chocolate.
Yeah,
it's great. I'm in my first year of teaching, and I've already worked at 2 schools. To answer White Wild's question about how long have I been in special ed. Before that, I was a paraeducator at a self-contained school for students with emotional and behavioral disabilities, which is where I was punched 3 times. It was also where I got to do things like pin a small child to the floor for a while. So our best day was when 2 students got arrested at the end of the day.
Oh, interesting.
It was the worst. That was not the best day. I was being sarcastic. So technically 2 years in special ed, and then before that I did my undergrad was in psychology, and I interned for a little while at Seattle Children's Inpatient Psych Unit. And I originally wanted to be a clinical psychologist, but I did not get into any programs. And then it turns out people will pay you to work with kids with problems if you're a teacher. So that's how I did it.
Yeah, Analar, I can speak on that. So somebody was saying if we could just stream some Shadowrun from a con, it would probably help with us. Not that easy, and it's very different. And it sounds easy, but we think about all those things, and it's like cost versus outcome. You know, we're really fortunate that Elaki hooked us up to do some Shadowrunning from ECCC, but that's a good example. Like if we would have streamed that, it would have brought us like nothing, and it would have cost us a ton of money. I've streamed at other things. If you're not doing it officially with Twitch, you're probably gonna fail because your quality, it's gonna be really hard to get to a certain point. It's gonna cost you a fortune, and then you're gonna be competing against Twitch itself, which is problematic. Now, just having Shadowrun at a con, it can bring in some new people. To get maximum exposure, you'd have to be like on a big stage. Well, to be on a big stage, you have to already be really popular. So it's a catch-22. It's, with a lot of stuff like that. Once you get big, you get bigger. It's getting to that breaking point that's the really tough part.
Especially in Seattle, because a lot of the cons now, like there isn't a mid-sized con here anymore. Like there's Emerald City and there's PAX, and then there's small ones. So there isn't like you're like in the middle. It's bigger.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. It's a bit of a shift that's happened over the last few years in Seattle.
I do feel like on-the-ground marketing is one of our best techniques right now, though, that we can adhere to. Like, I've had a couple people ask about us printing out flyers for the Macons and stuff, and I'm so down to send people flyers, and even maybe send them $20 to print those flyers, to hand them out at cons. That on-the-ground marketing goes a long way. I mean, if you hand out a couple thousand of them and only 10% tune in, hey, that's 100 new fucking people or 200 new people. Like, I'm down with that. People tune in, see what they like. Will we see more collaboration with hosts from other channels? Well, yes and no. When we can, and if we think it's right. We have a very busy schedule already, so it's got to fit in. And, honestly, like, Josephine and Joe playing games together on Tuesday nights right now, that won't last. We have other big shows that we'll put in that time slot soon. Elaki says there are a couple 500 to 1,000 person cons in Seattle: Orcon, Dragonflight, Evergreen, Tabletop Expo. There's a couple other small, like there's PaizoCon too, which we might have a thing.
500 to 1,000 is a small.
It's super small.
It's a very.
It is really small. And SakuraCon, yeah.
I know. I don't actually know the numbers for SakuraCon, but I know like Emerald City is like the third biggest now or something in the U.S. And, I guess there's like, but they're not. I don't know. I'm not sure they'd either. It's not my job.
Joe Goes Live asks, Zach, do you have any recommendation advice for someone who might have a tendon chronic pain issue similar to yours? Don't do what I do. Holy shit, I almost broke out into tears saying that, because when I admit to myself what I have, I freak out. And I try to constantly, that's the running part. That's what I'm running from. Avoidance completely. It's me 100% avoiding my condition all the fucking time by trying to push through it, which is making it worse. Don't do what I do. Take care of yourself, for fuck's sake.
We already clarified I'm in denial, so it's pretty great.
Yeah, I'm aware of what I'm doing and how stupid it is, but take care. Yeah, don't. If you can make a living not being on your feet, then don't. Hyper Power, go!
For the Zach Sleep Fund. #sad Leslie Nope.
Thank you for coming over, Slipshot. I appreciate you coming over to Hyper RPG. Let's see. Do you care one way or another about the GIFs videos that immortalize the on-stream antics of various hosts? Do they help or hinder? I think they're great, Lord Cario. I love the GIFs and the videos that immortalize the stream antics, because one day, as the channel continues to grow, you guys will be able to start posting those as reactions on your Twitter. I love in Discord when everyone's just posting GIFs of things that have happened on stream. Like, that stuff's great. And that keeps the channel fun and alive. I think it's great. Today's Honesty Hour brought to you by Denial.
It's not just a river in Egypt.
I knew you were going to say that. I 100% knew you were going to follow it up with that. Lauren, what kind of fan art would you ideally enjoy seeing for Shadowrun? As the GM, what do you want to see? Are there any NPCs?
Of my NPCs. I want someone to draw Miss J, because I'm not at all attached to that character. Again, denial. I'm really glad that I have the cookie lady. That makes me really happy. that really summed it up for me. I'm enjoying it so far. I think I want to see fan art of the moments, like of things that are happening, not just the characters. Would be very fun. Like there's the sketch out front of the two characters like passed out in the van, and I really enjoy that.
Vic the Bitter is drawing you guys right now.
Yes.
Jacob D807 asks, how long has this channel been around? We've been around for about a month and a week, or a month and 2 weeks.
Is that it?
Don't say that.
That's what it feels like to me.
Oof. We got some goals to hit. Or here real soon, I'm gonna have to redo our entire budget plan. Real soon. I was giving it till 3 months in, so we'll see. I might have to do it before then if we don't. We're supposed to have front page tomorrow for Full Tilt. And then we'll probably have it again Friday for DFA. I've been pushing really hard to get you guys on Wednesday nights on front page, but they keep telling me they don't have open slots. So we'll just keep pushing until they finally say, oh, okay, we have an open slot.
Someday.
231 subs until 1K. Any official 1K event? Now, we said something the other day, and I can't even remember now. We've been pushing super hard for subs, new viewers, more followers. I love subs because it's like a guarantee. You know, it's like, whew. All right, we got at least that much coming to us next month, even if everything else, you know, slows down. But to be fair, the participation in the Corp game and Battletech and all that stuff is what's keeping the channel alive right now. 100%. Like, subs aren't even putting a dent in anything, and we would have already burnt down at this point. So you guys' contributions and keeping all those games alive and interacting with the stream is keeping us alive and well. If Corporate Sins gets the front page, I hope there's another Freudian slip.
That was a great way of starting today.
I think it should. Now, here's the thing. So we have a meeting with somebody tomorrow about marketing and PR stuff. I feel like...
I definitely just heard NPR stuff, and I'm like, wait, what?
I feel like even though we're not getting front page support from Twitch on that show because they're too full, I still think it's the most marketable show because of the corporate war and how that's all going to start intertwining. If you guys know people who write, you know, there is no journalistic integrity, so if you guys know people who write for stuff and you think they would enjoy what we're doing, let us know and we'll talk to them. I think being the first channel to send a host to space could bring you some viewers. Yeah, that'd be great. The tip trolling of the Marauders on DFA is so much win. Crid, I agree. I completely agree with you. And I also think it's brilliant. And I think it's unfortunate that a couple people come into our chat room and they see that somebody's donating like that and they make comments about like, oh, fuck that person, they're gonna get him killed and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. I wish we would stop those comments completely because it's a game and we're here to have fun. And we wouldn't introduce that system if we didn't think Tyler could handle it. It's fun. And the other thing is, it's super smart because the people who are donating against the Marauders are actually driving up overall value of the entire show because then people donate back against them to balance it out. It's super, super smart. I don't know. If you guys see that happening in chat, please explain to them why we need it and why it's fun. And it's so much fun to troll the good guys. Seriously.
I enjoy it. Good guys.
Would a qualitative market study on our fan base help attract sponsors? Not until we get more of them, Alien Knitter, honestly. Need more. Need more people. You did tell us off the first week when they all almost died. That's called trolling, guys. It's called... Because I know if I say it, you'll donate against it. Hyper Red Power, go!
I love Honesty Hour and you guys.
So Ladcat823 just subscribed. That's actually 5. I'm gonna give away a Steam key.
Nice.
While I'm giving away a Steam key, where would you like to see Shadowrun 6 months from now?
6 months from now?
I want to know what you would like to see.
I like epic stories. I really like. I think for me the reason I enjoy playing RPGs is because I enjoy storytelling and I enjoy creating a world and a world that has stakes that are not one-off. And so I think I want to, for like my personal goal is finding a way to incorporate the metagame, which could very easily just be one-off sort of things as people come up with them, and working with the corporations when they hire the runners to actually build those in to something that's part of a larger story that has stakes for everyone that's part of it, that they're invested in because their corp has decided to do something as part of it.
That's great, because that's exactly where I want to see it go to.
Good, we're
on the
on
same
the same page. So yeah, that's what I would like to do. And I mean, maybe finding other ways that the other parts of the game will influence it, but that's probably at least maybe slightly farther down the line.
I'm so excited to start seeing how this goes now that we have our first official corp.
Oh, I
that's
also
gonna
just
hire
realized that
someone
I'm
else.
pretty excited that it was Evo that hired them, the corp that hates metahumans.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna...
Interesting. Yeah, I'm excited to see where that goes. I'm really excited to see once we start. So there's more stuff that we want to introduce into that system. We're kind of tiering it out because it's a free feature for the channel if you're a subscriber, and we're not a game development company. We're running a fucking studio, and it's a whole lot of work. So it takes a lot of work to start making changes and add more stuff, and it takes time to do it. But we have stuff that we want to do, part of which being that when you guys start collecting all that market share, that you could take some of that money and spend it on stuff that either affects the games or affects the way we watch the games through other things that could happen on screen. Also, Ninjarai, congratulations. You won the Ninjarai. You won a Steam key. So because I'm out here and no one else is here, can you whisper Hyper RPG saying you won so we make sure we send it to you and we don't forget? But when we start introducing all these things, I'm really excited because I think that's just going to start adding on to this building this really rich world where it just like gets to this point and it's like, by the way, you're doing this, and you're encountering this, and this is owned by this corporation, and it's this. Yeah. And then everyone watching will be like, oh, fuck, like, damn US technology, like having that interaction is really fucking cool to me. I do want to say, Vanderlee said earlier, I think one of the reasons people get upset is because of, for DFA is because we have permadeath on that show, which is exactly why we do it, because it makes it more intense and it makes it more, I get why that means people are going to have a stronger reaction, but I think having that permadeath and having people be able to like donate against each other to buff each team makes it more exciting because there's stakes. And we have to create some drama because the show itself, it's a miniature game, which is really hard to cover and make really exciting. So we do that because, I don't know if you guys have ever watched miniature games on Twitch. A lot of them are boring as fuck. Like, really boring. And that's not what we want to do. We want to make stuff that's entertaining and fun to watch. So we try to create a little bit more drama and suspense by giving situations where you don't know what's going to happen. And it could go really bad. We could get permadeath on one of the characters, and we probably will eventually. And then when that happens, we recover from it, and we make it even more awesome. And then you know how fucking real all this shit is. And I think it'll just make stuff even more intense. If the players are smart, they can withdraw when the odds get stacked against them.
As long as it's smart.
Yeah. The RPG part of DFA really helps drive the drama. I'm glad you think so. That's the whole point. That's why we did that. And we have a lot of more stuff we want to do with Shadowrun too. When we find the time and resources to do it. Heyo, what is that? Holy shit!
Woo!
Wow!
Hyper Power, go!
Oh my god, this is
Thanks,
amazing.
Lauren, for doing Honesty Hour. It's nice getting to know you. Zach, you're making great stuff. Also, custom paint job for Divas Max 100% matte black. Hashtag Defa.
What does Divas Mech normally look like?
Yes. Oh, she's gonna hate it. I love it.
Is it just black spray paint?
Oh, so good, White Wabbit. You evil bastard. So good. She's usually the one with all the glitter and the really bright colors.
Good.
And she got that mech killed off. Well, last week her leg got blown off, and she had to they salvaged a new mech, and we allowed someone to donate to paint it whatever they want it to be, and he wants it all matte black. Oh, well done. Well done. Didn't Arslan get that earlier today? It just wasn't updated on the file? Oh, I really hope that's not the case, because that would be really shitty. No, I thought what Arslan bought. No, Arslan bought everything for the enemy team.
Good.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. White Wabbit, well done. Glitter Pants is now Goth Pants. Oh, man. Well played. Well played. We'll check. We'll check. Yeah, he bought out the opponents. Yeah, that's what he did. That's what I thought. Man, flat black. This is great. I love it. It's also really easy to paint.
Yeah.
We can spray it. This is great.
It's not hard at all. No detailing.
They make matte black glitter. Do they make matte black glitter? I don't know about that. What's up, Half Donut?
That kind of defeat the point of glitter.
Yeah,
Like, yes,
right?
they do. It's just paper that's cut into tiny pieces.
Confuse her with the red stripes, and she's part of the Pork Chopping Express. We'll do like the A-Team van. God.
I'm glad that happened for you.
The mech is gonna look like a universe without stars. I'm excited. That was a good one. It's also so easy to paint. I know we can now get it done by Friday because I was really worried about that when we said we could do that.
Did you give like them a deadline for when it would
By
have to
1 p.m.
happen?
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. Divas Mech starred in Modern Tragedy. Ha ha, really funny.
No, I haven't seen the A-Team.
That's acceptable.
Is it a surprise?
No.
Shouldn't
But
be.
acceptable. Well, I'm really excited for the improvements we have planned for Shadowrun, and we're going to keep refining that. Something we're working on with Twitch alerts, guys, that I think is going to be really exciting. So you guys have your 10 corporations, each with a logo. We're going to have something on the screen that says, "This show brought to you by," and then you guys are able to tip to get your corporation's logo on the screen. It stays there until someone else tips to get their logo up on the screen. That's how that's going to roll. We want to give you guys more chances to find ways to hate each other.
But in a positive way,
friendly way.
You know, don't be dicks. Like,
Yeah.
but also hate each other.
Right.
It's a fine balance.
Yeah.
It's a thin line.
This one says LOL, oh no. So basically it'll be brought to you by Evo and Shiawaza. Hey, Hyper Rapid Power, go!
Warning, warning, big donation. Warning, warning, big donation. Hype.
That's not how this works, Paradigm Shift. It's not how this works.
Hashtag Evo thinks that diva should be exactly what they want it to be.
Sorry, that wasn't one of the options. That wasn't one of the options. Marvin Martian just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing.
Woo!
You see what's really funny? White Wabbit trolled, and then I started talking about Hyper Rapid Power Go. Thank you, Marvin Martian. White Wabbit trolled. Then we started talking about how we were gonna pit the chat room against each other and start hating on each other, and I smiled.
Some straight up.
I think this is.
Rats with a lever.
I think this is a sign.
It's rats with a lever.
Oh man. Oh my god. What else do we have planned for your show? I'm trying so hard not to freak out because my fucking legs are going nuts. Fantastic
You need
plan
more
for the
tea.
logo. Weekly affirmations will now be an even bigger mess of donations. Oh, no, Sagetopian. The logo thing will only happen during Shadowrun Corporate Sends. Only. It's the only time that will happen. It's just going to be this show brought to you by during Shadowrun. We're not going to put that on other shows. Starting off, especially. Hyper up, power, go!
I forgot the name of Diva's new mech. It's Mork. Hashtag Defa.
Yeah. It's Mork. All right. Speaking to adjustments to Shadowrun without raising hype in case it was canceled, any updates on how the visuals of the game are coming? Display through game.
I think like maps and stuff.
Oh, the maps. It's being worked on.
What? My hand-drawn maps aren't good enough for you? I couldn't even hold a straight.
What do you think about making small replicas of the models of mechs on DFA and sell them? One of the guests on Watching Paint Dry said he actually made a living painting mechs. Maybe, maybe not. I think what we might do is put some of the mechs up on eBay. We were actually talking today about putting Diva's old mech up on eBay and see how that went over. Zach, maybe when you have a front page slot on Twitch, get some Shadowrun in for that week. I know it requires scheduling, but just no way, Analar. Hell no. No way. We can't do that. Twitch will shut that down. If you tell Twitch you're going to be doing one thing and then you put a different show in that slot and they tune in, nope, can't do that. Not to mention, everyone here has jobs and lives.
Yeah.
And their schedules took a long time to work out between all the different shows to figure out when people could do what. That took a long time, and I can't just be like, yo, Shadowrun, you guys want to come in on Friday? No. That's not how that works. Also, I really like your GMing, Laura. You're doing great. Keep it up.
My name is Lauren. They actually got it right.
I know. I'm really not in it right now.
That's okay.
I couldn't say GMing either.
GMing? It's a hard word.
As I replace mechs, toss them on eBay, we'll buy them. Great. That's what I like to hear, because I'm still thinking about whether or not I should sell the Atlas Snuggle mech. It's pretty... It didn't take too much damage.
Is that the larger one?
The pink and white, the Snuggle mech. We also have the one Alex got blown up in, the awesome. We've got some that we're not using anymore. No, you can't sell that one. It's not coming back. Yeah, it's not LA. These folks have day jobs. That's true, BP Phantom. Very
As
true.
we spent a lot of time talking about.
Yeah, everyone here has day jobs. It's not.
Don't worry though, I'll be on summer vacation, and then I can just be here forever.
Holy shit.
It'll be like spring break, but worse.
I'll be like, get in here. We're going to talk about ways to make Shadowrun crazy. And then we'll get you really deep in it. And then school will be coming back around and be like, oh, fuck, I can't keep
I'll be like,
doing
well,
this.
that was great. Bye.
Yeah. Where can I go buy some Hyper RPG Shadowrun shirts and merch? Will you guys have a store up at some point? At some point when the channel gets bigger. 99th Doctor, right now, we're not there yet. We'll keep putting up a shirt on Teespring every once in a while. We've got the Infect shirt coming up next. Yep. So when we get bigger, when there's more people watching, more people as fans, then we'll have a store. But right now it's further down the line. But I think because it's midnight, we should talk about heading out. I'm crashing a lot.
You're allowed to do that.
Not in like a sleep way, but in a like, holy shit.
Maybe you should do that thing where you're supposed to take care of yourself for a little while.
Well, it's going to be me laying in a bed going like, wow, chronic pain sucks. And it's going to do that for the next 6 hours.
Yay.
Real great. What is the ideal sub goal? JWoods256. See, the thing here, since we take tips, it's much less of a sub goal. It's more of just an overall channel growth. The bigger the channel gets, the more subs we have, the more followers we have, and the more people we're getting watching concurrently, the more chances are we have more people donating, we have better sponsors, yada, 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 yada. So there's not really a set sponsor number, but there's more like we need to see this kind of cash flow coming in each month. Right now, it's like $40K a month is what we're spending. And I can tell you that. Like, we'll be very honest with you guys what we're spending. Are we making $40K a month? No. No. So, that's my target right now. That's the target.
It's totally doable. Blind optimism.
Zach, is there a reason the donation minimum is $5? Could you set it lower and just not set off the alert? Could result in more people donating. I don't think so, CKJS. It's either you donate and it alerts or you don't. I could talk to Twitch Alerts about that, though, and see what they think. Well, no, because then when we have it set at 25, people donate. Why do I keep thinking I couldn't make it go lower than 5? Maybe they fixed that. We'll see. Miss Darkama says, this is awkward. I don't disagree with you.
I think that's the point of this, right?
A little bit.
If it wasn't awkward, it wouldn't
work.
This show.
Yeah. Odd question. How hard would it be for HyperRPG to have a 3D camera on set for Shadowrun for people who have VR headsets? Might already be looking into it, Tipesty, for a lot of our different shows. I'm really big on the VR thing right now, so
I noticed.
I'm getting into it. And we have meetings with other VR companies coming up, and we're going to see how we can all work together and all that shit. That's what I'll do. I'll watch Jupiter Ascending to fall asleep tonight. It'll put me right to sleep.
Yay! You're welcome.
I wish that was the truth. I have to watch cartoons to fall asleep.
Interesting. I can't.
Bad movies, they don't help me fall asleep.
Do they just make you angry?
Yes.
Instill rage?
It depends. It depends on what kind of bad movie. Like, I watched Cowboys vs. Dinosaurs on Netflix the other night.
That's a thing that exists.
I thought it would make me go to sleep, but it didn't because I was actually enjoying laughing my ass off at how bad it was.
Good. I cannot watch things to go to sleep. Watching things gives me anxiety. So.
They need to make a VR Matrix game for Shadowrun. Oh, maybe somebody's working on it. No. Not a video game, though.
Just become a Muppet.
Oh, no. Maybe. Wow. Mini 1930s cartoons with Cuphead now. Nice. Well, I think it's time.
Is it the end?
I think it's... Is it?
Have we come to the close? It can be done. You can let this go. Or I can just start talking inanely and you can sit here and that might help you fall asleep.
You keep talking. Actually, we need to do a raid. What am I thinking? Alright, I'm going to get back into the zone. Okay, guys, we need to raid somebody.
It's a big question. What is the biggest regret I have? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, we're going to do a raid, guys. Let's see. What's a good channel to raid right now, guys? Who's online? Well, there's 360 people watching right now.
Good.
You say good. You know what really upsets me?
What?
That more people watch this than Shadowrun.
Oh, that's sad.
And more people watch this than a lot of our other shows. And I love you guys, kind of, sort of, but our other shows are way more entertaining than me sitting here and interviewing Lauren. You're great, but watching her GM is a lot more fun than watching her watch me. So watch Shadowrun. Hyper Power Go!
Don't forget Too Many White Guys with Beards, the hot new follow-up from the channel that brought you too many guilds.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, I'm currently looking at a couple people, and we'll see who's good to raid. Keep in mind, guys, when we raid somebody, it shouldn't be somebody that... It should be somebody with around the same amount of numbers as us, and then it's a good trade. We'll see this person, though. Maybe this is a good... Maybe... Who else we got? Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do this. Had more than one person say that we should raid this person, so we're going to do it. They're a friend of April's, so let's do it. We're going to raid Visual Jamie. It's twitch.tv/Visual Jamie. So get ready, guys. We're going to... let's see... John Snow Shoveler wants to know what song. I don't know. It's a YouTube like sad guitar song for 10 hours on loop. That's honestly what it is. So it's going to be twitch.tv/Visual Jamie. Guys, get in there. Wait for my lead. It's going to be Hyper Rabbit Power Raid Chase the Rabbit. When you see that posted, everyone repost it. We're going to light her up. It's going to be a lot of fun. And... yeah, so everybody get over, and then I'll host it. Damn it. No, damn it. No, Hellbringer, you're the worst. Everyone go. God damn it. Fucking idiot. And my keyboard's not working. This is why you don't do this on a tablet. Just go. Go. There we go. Now we're hosting her.
Thank you so much for subscribing. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god. We gotta defend, fight the rabbits with the mac and cheese. Right? Mac and cheese wall. Mac and cheese wall. Mac and cheese. Mac and cheese. Mac and cheese. Defend with cheese.
This is the weirdest part of Twitch, I think.
It's not popcorn, it's mac and cheese. Oh my god, you guys, thank you so much for the raid and the host. Hyper RPG. I'm so happy to give you this eye. Guys, if you're not following Viking Lass, yeah, no, actually, I heard about them from Viking Lass first. I saw her tweeting about y'all. Jeez. Hi, thank you so much for that raid and host and sub.
Cool.
You guys are amazing. Oh my god. Oh my god. Follow. Thank you, Sunbun. Yeah, there's the link. It's flying by, though. I believe I can fly.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
flying.
good.
My god. Where's that Bible thumb?
Usually I have a lot more energy, but I am seriously, like, my body is killing me.
Sorry. That sounds rough.
Oh my god.
How was that?
Pull this chat over.
When was that?
Damn. Hi, everyone.
Oh.
Thank you so much. Here, let me show you guys. Give y'all a good look.
Do you need support or do we just walk out?
Working on.
Oh, you guys are good. I'll clean up.
Alright, sorry that I can't be here tomorrow.
It's all good. We got it covered. Thank you.
Watercolor,
Wash.
colored pencils.
So.
You'll probably be hosting with me
blank
Friday.
pen.
Oh, exciting.
There's the Bible thump with the wings. See, chat's moving so fast, it's just flying up. It's just flying up. I can show you guys some more words while I'm at it. Oh, I don't know if y'all remember Scene of Action Music. You guys interviewed him. I did this. I did his cover for Home. And I did his cover for Hype. Run back. did his
Bye.
covers for his new record, Hope. There's the back, and there's the front. Visuals should be here pretty soon. I think on the 28th. What's neo-gothic? That sounds cool. Thank you so much, everybody. Oh my god, there's so many of you. You all are amazing. Hi. Thanks, Crid. Thanks, Zenblade. Thanks, Love Lufa. Thanks, Serenity. Thanks, Back. Thanks, Wist. Rios. Zero Z, you can do it. Just practice. Thanks, Half Donut. Oh my god, thanks, Zenblade. Gives you wings. Pipe, bunch of pipe.